Hi, I'm going to show you how you can save up to $200 on your existing computer right now, or at least save you a trip to Best Buy.
There's a very good chance you have one of these guys.
And no, I'm not talking about a Lenovo ThinkPad or a Framework laptop, or even the dog. I'm talking about a Windows-based computer.
Windows.
And no, I'm not talking about a Linux-based computer or Mac OS. And yes, that was the ThinkPad 1X Carbon and a MacBook A1181 from like 2006. Good eye. So today I'm going to show you how to do a Windows tune-up.
Typically when I had computers come into the shop that were running slow, it was usually one of three things. Either you didn't have enough RAM, which provided the resources you need to do the things that you wanted to do with your computer. It could have also been the hard drive that was running your Microsoft Windows was starting to fail, and so it was not responding how you wanted it to respond. Or, for most people, your computer was just bloated from use. Just all of the applications you install, all of the things you download, all of the things that you use your computer for, just really needed to be shore up, and that's where the Windows tune-up came in handy. When I had people come into the shop with bloated computers, I would typically charge upwards to about $149 just for a single computer, or $179 for any MacBook that needed to be tuned up. So this is where I'm going to save you that money with these following steps. It was easy money for break fix, $150 just for a computer, and you get that done in under an hour. It kind of makes me want to open up my own break fix shop. No, I'm not doing that. I am not opening up my own break fix shop. No way. Or maybe. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to the steps. Before we continue, I need to specify that we are going to be using the in-house search function that's going to be part of Microsoft Windows. It's going to be right next to your Microsoft Windows Start button or the Microsoft Windows logo, which is that blue 4-square box right there. If you hit that, it's going to pull up more options, but we're going to leave that alone. Go ahead and type into search. We're going to type in performance. Great. All you have to do is really type in the first thing, go up on the list, see how it says adjust the appearance and performance of, you can see it over here as well, adjust the appearance and performance of Windows. We're going to go ahead and hit that. You can either click it just like right here, or you can just hit open, or you can hit that too. It really doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. So let's go ahead and hit that. All right, it's going to pull up this performance options menu. This was actually introduced in Microsoft Windows XP, and it was very useful in Vista when they introduced a bunch of animations. We're actually going to tell the computer that we don't want the computer to use resources in order to animate things for us. We don't need those extra bloated little animations. Usually it starts on let Windows choose what's best for your computer, and then Windows chooses all of this garbage. A lot of the animations that Windows does just for the user interface uses up the memory or the resources that our computer has. So it's important that we allocate that for things that we actually want to do. So we're going to come into this and we're actually going to adjust for best performance. And what that's going to do is it's actually going to unclick everything just to give us a clean slate. Now you can go back through and individually decide what it is your computer should do for you, how you like it, set it up to your preference. But here's some good suggestions when setting this up so that way your computer is set up for best performance. So these are some good options. Animate window when minimizing and maximizing. Enabling peak is pretty good. We can show thumbnails instead of icons. That allows us to see just like a little insert of what our next thing is going to be. And then smooth edges of screen fonts. That's just so that way things are easier to read. We don't really need a whole lot of the other stuff. If you've got a newer computer, you're really not going to see a difference. You can go ahead and let Windows do what it wants to do. But if you have a computer that's older than 3 years old, go ahead and just do this. That way you're set up for success. So we're going to go ahead and just hit apply. And now it's going to make the changes. So that way our computer can run a little bit smoother. We are going to see a little bit of differences down here at the menu bar, but really not much sometimes. But yeah, go ahead and start with that. So the next thing I do is I usually go to the downloads folder. I am actually using the Windows Explorer or Microsoft Explorer, so you can usually find that down here at the bottom. It's this yellow manila folder thing. If you can't find it down here because somehow you hid it or you got rid of it, you can just go to the start menu, and usually it's going to be located in one of the options in your little toolbar from your start menu. So go ahead and hit File Explorer. Next, we're going to go to downloads and just make sure that you can verify everything you've downloaded. If you see a download that you're not familiar with, like say for instance this one, go ahead and just delete it, because that's usually what we do if we see suspicious stuff, or we'll grab it and pull it off of your computer if your computer is in quarantine. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to search for updates. You can either use the search bar and just type in update. That works. Or if you prefer to be a little techie, you can go down to your keyboard, type in the Windows key plus I, and that brings up your Microsoft Windows interface. We're just going to come here and hit updates, and then from here you just go check update. It's going to do this for a hot minute. Just make sure it's connected to the internet and let that thing go. Looks like I don't have any updates. You can go to advanced options here and see if you have any optional updates. Right now I have 0, but usually your firmware can hang out under here. So it's important to check to make sure that you have all of your updates done. So yeah, looks like we're good on updates. Moving on to the next thing. Next is your drivers. You can use iObit's free installation. This is Driver Booster. I highly recommend Driver Booster. They let you use it for free. It's just that downloading this can get kind of complicated, but this is a good program. If your computer has outdated drivers, it's going to act like it's hacked, and it's not hacked. It's just your drivers are misbehaving. Once your drivers get to the point where they're all smooth sailing and working together, then they work. No longer does your computer act like it's being hacked. Let's go ahead and scan to see what drivers I might have that are out of date. Just let this thing go. It's going to do this little thing. It's checking everything. Okay, so I have a good bit of things that need to be updated. Oh no. Welp. Normally people's computers are not going to be exactly like this, but we're just going to go ahead and update now. You can pay them and get the upgrade to Pro. If you have the extra money to do that, just go ahead and toss them some money. They're awesome, but we're going to go ahead and just do update now, so that way we can update what we have already. Okay, so we're going to let this go. Mine is ridiculous since it's like 4 gigs of updates, but my computer should run pretty well after this. But yeah, let's give it a moment. This might take a while. Oh, mamma mia, this has been taking a little while. It finally got everything downloaded. Now it's installing, and it's good to know that this thing actually does create a restore point for you, so that's cool. But I'm just going to go ahead and let that go a little bit longer. All right, thank God it's done. Yay, all my stuff is up to date, even with the free edition. Love to see that. It does ask you if you want to upgrade, but we're going to go ahead and just cancel out of that. But now all of our drivers should be up to date. Hooray, hooray. We do need to reboot in order to get 11 drivers have been updated. I will still need to reboot. Let's go ahead and just do that. I actually like to do rebooting straight from the Windows interface down here instead of giving me the option to reboot here. So let's just go down to here. We're going to go ahead and hit that blue little 4 square thing. If we go over to the right, it's going to be this thing here. We can hit that, and then we have a couple different options: lock, sleep, shut down, restart. Go ahead and hit that restart, because that's going to boot the computer right back up afterwards. If you're done with the computer, just hit shut down or whatever your preference is. But we need it to either be one of these 2 things. We can't just put it to sleep. So let's go ahead and just restart this. It'll go through the restart process here. All right, our computer is back online. We've gone ahead and we've checked downloads. We've checked installed apps, made sure that they're verified. We went ahead and did a driver booster to make sure all of our drivers are up to date. Let's go ahead and do the CMD and the SFC, and that's going to be our last thing. Nord. Have you ever done something on your computer and it's just all like, you're not the admin, you're like, listen. Well, we're about to give ourselves admin privileges with the next step, so go ahead and go down to the search bar again. This time we're going to type in CMD. That's going to pull up something called the command prompt. You can see that it's here on the left and it's here on the right. Instead of just go ahead and just clicking it, we're actually going to go down to this option and hit run as administrator. I'm the captain now. We're going to go ahead and say yes. That way we have permission. Okay, so you're going to get a very familiar looking command prompt line. This looks like DOS. It's not really, but yeah, this is pretty familiar if you've been with computers or seen computers over the years. All right, so you're going to type in the following code. It's going to be DISM, D-I-S-M. This is all case sensitive. So DISM space / online with a capital O space / cleanup - image. The C in cleanup is capitalized. After image, you're going to hit space / restore health. The R in restore and the H in health is capitalized. I'll go ahead and provide this in the actual description of the video, so that way you do not have to go and search for this. You can just copy and paste. I got you. So go ahead and let this run by hitting enter. And that's going to go ahead and run. We're going to let that sit there and run. Leave this alone. You can pull up a browser if you like and just like go and look at your emails or whatever you want to look at. But yeah, just let this thing go. If it gets stuck at 32.6, which seems to be a cursed number, just go ahead and keep doing it over and over again until it finally goes through to 100%, because we need that to go to 100%. Oh my God, this one can take a long time sometimes. This one is SFC Scan Now. Again, I'll go ahead and put it in the comments. That way you can just grab it, and we'll just go ahead and let this run. This one doesn't take as long as the other one did, but it will take a little bit of time. So just let it run until it's 100%. Awesome. It completed at 100% and it did not find any integrity violations, which are essentially glitches in Windows. So that's what this SFC scan does, is this is looking for any corrupted files, any glitches, anything that hasn't been put correctly on your hard drive and needs to be reinstalled. This takes care of it. If you did get a message that said that it found integrity violations or file system corruptions, go ahead and just keep scanning this until it says 100% and it doesn't find anything. So you can actually run an SFC scan over and over until it doesn't find anything. But yeah, this protects your computer to make sure that there's no integrity violations, any corrupted files. I don't know why I can't say that off the top of my head. The other one was just to make sure that your Windows image was running properly. So these two, I recommend just running these two often. Just whenever you think about it, it's pretty good for your computer to have this get done. Also, make sure to do this after you do Windows updates. I almost forgot one more thing. We need to go to a browser. This time I'm actually using Google Chrome. You're going to want to do this for every single browser that is installed on this computer. So if you have Brave, Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, you're going to need to do this to all of them. So make sure to pull up the browsers that you use. You're actually going to go with Google Chrome, you're going to go up here to the top. You've got your profile in 2 different locations. This one's the profile for just the window that you're on, whatever URL is in, but you want to go up to the browser profile here at the top. From this guy, you're going to go to these 3 little dots, so make sure that you hit those. You're going to go all the way down here until you find delete browsing data. So make sure that you hit that. This is actually similar to pretty much most browsers. If you go up to either your profile icon or the little dots up at the top right, you will find an option to delete browsing data from this option here. So make sure that you do this for all of them. I'll show you Microsoft Edge here in a second, but make sure to go to delete browsing data. It's going to come up with a data preference on what kind of data you want to delete. So I usually go to all time. I'm going to do browsing history, cookies, cached items, because this can get pretty crazy. Download history. The rest I'm going to leave, like autofill data for websites like passwords and usernames and stuff. I don't want to delete, keep that. Site settings I want to keep, and hosted app data I want to keep. If you have an option in here that says delete passwords and things, just say no to that one. That's going to screw you up big time. But yeah, we're really just going after browsing history and definitely these cookies. So make sure to at least get these 2. These help with just making your browser a little bit faster. We're now going to go ahead and hit delete data. Making sure you do this ensures that your browser is going to run smoothly, especially if you've hit any suspicious websites recently. All right, we're going to pull up Microsoft Edge and do the same thing. For Microsoft Edge, it's going to be up here at the top. We've got our profile and we got the 3 little dots. So let's do the little dots first. Perfect. Little dots was the option. So we're going to go down here and we're going to hit delete browsing data. Same kind of interface here. We're going to go ahead and put all time. I want to get rid of browsing history, download history, cookies, and site data. I want to get rid of cached items. Autofill I want to keep. Site permissions I want to keep. And these two things I'm just going to leave blank because I haven't really dove into those yet, but let's just leave those blank. We definitely want to get rid of the cookies and browsing history. So go ahead and hit clear now. Perfect. Making sure you do this for your browsers ensures that your browsers, again, are faster. It also helps get rid of any pop-ups you're getting. All right, there you have it. That's pretty much how you do a Microsoft Windows tune-up. If you were doing this on somebody else's computer, you can go ahead and create a restore point. Just go down to search here, type in restore. All right, so you can hit create a restore point. I'm just going to grab it from here. Then you get this window. You just hit create. And you just name it today's date. Today's date is 5/28. Tune up 5/28. And then we'll go ahead and hit create. This is create the restore point after we've done this. If you're working on somebody else's computer, I recommend doing a restore point before starting this process. So that way you can go back and forth between when they dropped it off at your shop or when they put it in your hands to once you're done with the Windows tune-ups. That way you can go back and forth just in case you mess something up.
Cool, and that's about it. After doing something like this on somebody else's computer, I'd give them a call, let them know that their computer is ready for pickup, and bam, I just made $150 for myself. So go ahead, do this with your computer, save some money, and yeah, I'll see you on the flip side.